Hello, everyone, and welcome back to an episode of the Northern Block Podcast. It is Monday, September 15th, 2025. I am your host here, Nordic 97, joined with LeBlock James. LeBlock, how we doing?
We are doing so terrible. It is not even funny. Football is back. That's why we're feeling terrible right now. But other than that, we're good.
Well, that's good and I guess bad to hear. So, we'll move on from that. But we got some stuff to talk about here, including our Central Division preview. So we're going to start off with some of the news around the National Hockey League as of late. We're going to start off with some goaltender news, and that's what a lot of this video is actually going to be. There's been a lot of goaltender movement throughout the league. We're going to start off with an extension that happened just after we released our podcast last week. Dustin Wolf has signed a 7-year, $7.5 million extension. The deal will begin not this year, but next year in 2026-27. So, LeBlock, I think this is great. This is going to age like fine wine. I think Dustin Wolf is more than worthy of this contract. And with the cap going up, you think that like goalies are going to start getting paid a little bit more. You saw Shesterkin's contract. You're going to see goaltenders get a lot more money than maybe what they're worth. But with the cap going up, it's going to happen. But locking up Dustin Wolf to this 7-year contract, not only like are they doing it like, obviously doing it period, but they're doing it now, which is the important part, and not waiting until when Dustin Wolf has another incredible year and then he's in his contract year and he's asking for a lot more money. So I think this is phenomenal. LeBlanc, what do you think?
Perfect for the organization. You get Dustin Wolf locked up long term. And a guy who had a real, honestly, the guy could have won. If it wasn't for a guy like Lane Hudson, I think Dustin Wolf may have won the Calder.
I agree.
And you look at him, his numbers, he's just going to get better. Like, he's a stud. He's been a stud since he got into the organization. It's also good for Wolf, too, because if Wolf, let's say, after the contract, I think Wolf will be how old when the contract ends? He'll be...
good question. I don't know how old he is.
I'm pretty sure. Or like, just... Yeah.
I'm looking it up here real quick. I'm sorry. Wolf is currently 24, so he'll be 25 when that contract starts. He'll be 32.
Yeah, so if Wolf wants to make, I don't want to say like an early exit, but if he wants to, not resign, he'll be in the prime of his career at that point. So it's perfect for both parties involved.
Exactly. Yeah, so really good contract there for the Calgary Flames. Additionally, there was a goalie trade today. Ivan Fedotov was traded to the Columbus Blue Jackets from the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for a 2026 sixth-round pick. So there's not a lot to this, to be honest with you, besides the fact, you can speculate about a certain player coming to Philadelphia. We're not going to discuss that right now. But regardless, the Philadelphia Flyers goaltending depth is very, very deep. And it's funny because it's deep, but it's also so meh at the same time. It was a bunch of average or below average goaltenders, you could argue. So getting rid of Fedotov, who was in the last year of a $3.275 million contract, I think is a very good move for Philadelphia. What do you think about this minor move?
I saw Fedotov play a little bit last year, and I'll be honest, I wasn't that impressed with what I saw when he gave him the opportunity. I think you look at Philly right now, the crease is kind of crowded they brought in Vladar. Urson, clearly I would take Urson over Fedotov any day of the weekend, twice on Sunday.
Yep.
I think you go to Columbus where there is room for competition. Fedotov is going to be the backup, or he will contend for the backup spot with Jet Greaves. And if a guy like Ridley gets falters, you can see Fedotov get into that starting rotation.
Yeah, exactly. I think that Columbus, after Fedotov, was a little bit like shallow. You didn't really have somebody to be your third string. I think that's what Fedotov's going to be. But honestly, like, it's good for Philadelphia to get rid of this cap space, in my opinion, as a Flyers fan. Here's the interesting component to this, though. The Flyers technically already paid Fedotov. So even though, like, Columbus is taking on the cap hit. They're not actually giving up any money. Like, technically, they're not paying Columbus any money or paying Philadelphia any money.
Yeah, so from like the book standpoint for the year, they don't pay him any money, but going into the cap hit, it'll count though. That's what it's saying. And I just want to say this: I was told Jarmo Kekalainen was gone. Why do I keep seeing the Jackets make Jarmo Kekalainen type moves?
Yeah, and I do want to give credit to who made the tweet where I saw this from. Tony Androkaitis is a big minor league journalist for the PHPA. He does very good work for the American Hockey League and the ECHL. So I think that I want to give him credit there. But yes, this is a little bit strange to me, Columbus making this move. It does feel like a Kekalainen move, but I do understand it from the perspective of they want goaltender depth. I don't know if this is the best goalie depth in the world, but, I digress. So I just want to preface that. Moving on from that, though, we got some troubling information for Buffalo. Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen apparently had a little bit of an injury, kind of tweaked something, and he could miss some time. So this is very interesting. Pulling up the tweet here. Luukkonen reported to camp with what is described as a quote-unquote tweak. The team is unsure of the extent of the injury and doesn't have a timetable of when he'll return 100%. So they signed Alex Georgiev. What a replacement. Am I right, LeBlanc? To a 1-year, $825K contract. Yeah. Not a fan of Georgiev. I understand you want to get another goalie in your system, but I'm not a fan of this.
So you mentioned Georgiev, so I brought up the Fabrice because that brother stinks. That brother stinks. I don't mean to be rude, but that brother smells, and I can smell it from here. Buffalo, just the cursed franchise. There's that meme. It's why do you keep giving me your toughest battles, and then you're still alive?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
It feels just like that. I feel bad for Buffalo because Luukkonen, after a good year, not last year, the year before, he had a really good 2024.
He did.
2025, not so much. I was hoping for him to get a bounce back here and there, but I don't. What's his timetable on his injuries? What?
We don't know.
So we don't know. It could be long term. It could be short term. But you're bringing in Georgiev, so you're rotate. So you have in that room right now, Georgiev, James Reimer, I think he's still there, and then you have Devin Levi.
I don't know. So here is my problem with this. If you would think that with Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen getting injured, you would think that maybe they would give Devin Levi a shot here and maybe give him a chance to play in that backup role. Why do you have to sign Georgiev?
Them bringing in Georgiev signals that his injury might be longer than expected. That's also what I'm thinking.
That's also what I'm thinking.
Also, and I know Buffalo's been through a lot, and we tiptoe past this, but perhaps goaltending depth isn't great. The chances aren't great. It's time to hop aboard Tank Express. Blow it up.
Go for it. Try and get Gavin McKenna again.
McKenna. Yeah, I know it's easier. It's a really hard process, and I know because I've been there. But in this, I look at Buffalo in this whole situation. They're not gonna. I don't see a world where they get to the playoffs this year or next.
I don't either. Well, I still think they are a year away from being a year away. So I think you said that about, I think Philly is what you said that about. But yeah, I just don't think they're there, honestly. And getting a guy like Georgiev and seeing Luukkonen go down the injury, it doesn't give me a lot of trust in the Sabres goaltending depth. Some weird but cool news, I guess. The Pittsburgh Penguins signed Marc-Andre Fleury to a professional tryout. He will play in the September 27th exhibition game. Kyle Dubas said, quote, "The Penguins feel he and his family are the most deserving of this opportunity to celebrate this full circle moment back to where it all started in front of the black and gold faithful. Fleury retired from pro hockey after last season and will return for one exhibition game where it began. Look, at first when I saw this, I was like, all right, retirement my ass. But I read into it a little bit more, and it looks like this is just kind of, I don't want to say it's a publicity stint, but it's like a way to say a farewell to Marc-Andre Fleury for Penguins fans.
So, I'll say my piece, and I have a funny story about this, too.
Oh, God, here we go.
It is publicity stunt. Get butts in seats, because it seems like Pittsburgh, their attendance-wise, it's been
it's a preseason game. I just want to mention that.
Yes. First of all, brother, you retired. Let's keep it retired and let's just sign the 1-day contract.
Yeah, like everybody else. Nobody else gets special treatment around here. Not that I hate Fleury.
But I'll come back for one more preseason game. Like, he's not going to make the team because he's going to retire after that game.
So, very interesting.
I get it from a business standpoint, and Fleury, and if he wants to do it, he can do it. So here's the funny story. I have a coworker, Penguins fan.
Okay.
She was going to be down for that exact game. She didn't buy her tickets yet because they were like $60, $50 US.
For a preseason game?
For a preseason game, because she was going to go down low.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. I still though, I got like Flyers preseason tickets down low for like $30.
Now,
they're
the up high seats are now going for $260.
The most expensive preseason game of all time.
Not $260 US, so that's like $330.
Yeah, I pray for her.
She's pissed. Rightfully so. No, huge. She's like, I can see the Pens, but I won't. Only time I'll get to see them that's not an audible. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And just
then that happens. Yeah, that's rough.
Here's the thing. It's for me from a business. Like, here's the thing. If you're a Pittsburgh fan, and I'm just from my outside perspective, I've seen Fleury play. I don't need to go back and see him one last time. I saw him for so long.
I never saw Fleury play in person. I think this is. I guess this is cool. I do think it's cool. I'm not gonna say that. I guess it's cool. It's just like it was a little bit strange when I heard it. I'm like, oh, okay.
I was like, excuse me.
I was like, what? Yeah, I was a little bit lost with that, but yeah. Anyways, so there's that involving that with Marc-Andre Fleury. Corey Perry is out 6 to 8 weeks after being injured in a Friday training skate, so he will miss the start of the season. Not that big of a loss for the LA Kings, but still, it's not a good start to a season. And then 2 players signed entry-level contracts. Michael Misa signed his with the Sharks, and Justin Carbonneau signed his with the St. Louis Blues. So that's interesting there. Carbonneau I don't have a lot of thoughts on. He's going back to the Q. But I do have some thoughts on Marco Rossi because...
You mean Michael Misa?
Why did I say Marco Rossi? Michael Misa. It's late at night. I'm sorry. I have to ruin that, don't I? I do have some thoughts for Misa because there was a lot of rumors throughout this past season that Michael Misa was going to go to Boston University. In fact, back in, I would say, late January, early February, I even made a TikTok about how Michael Misa was reportedly in frameworks of going to Boston University next season. Well, that's not possible now.
No.
With the ELC being signed. So that is completely out of the question. And that could mean good news for the OHL. That could mean Misa's coming back to Saginaw. Was that where he was last year?
Yep, Saginaw.
So that could mean he's coming back, but that could also mean that he's coming to San Jose.
I think what they're going to do is, you know how they have like the 9-game trial?
Yeah.
9-game trial. If it goes well, they keep him there for the year. If it's not going like they hope it would, they'll send him back to the O. There's no shame in sending him back to the O because, first of all, you're the San Jose Sharks. Who are you? Not who are you, but like you're not expected to be good, so it's not a big deal if you send him back.
No, like we're not really expecting Michael Misa to come in here and be like
this world beater
guy.
Yeah.
We don't.
You don't have to come in and be a world beater. You can send him back to the O, which has great reputation of developing players.
I got to be honest with you, though. Like, do you think that he could make this roster?
Yes,
I think so, too.
100%.
And I think he will, honestly. Like, I think that, like, it's you look at the San Jose roster, you look at the players he's going to play with. Like, if he's with if he's even on that second line, I believe he's playing with Will Smith. So, like, and I think maybe Adam Gaudette, depending on where they want to put him on that slot. But, like, honestly, like, if I would not be shocked at all if he makes this team. Yeah, if he was playing, because like I know he could play center and wing, but if he was on like that second line, he'd be with Smith and Skinner / Gaudette. So honestly, yeah, I think he can make this team.
Mm, definitely. Like
All right,
we said multiple times that Misa was the best player in the draft, and we both agree with that.
I do agree he's better than Schaefer.
I feel like he's going to have a really long career. And if he is going to the team, Misa for Calder. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Have fans get stewing. Get stewing in the comments.
Here he goes. All right, let's move on then from the news around the NHL. Let's go into our Central Division preview, what is going to be the big part of this video. So again, we are midway through our divisional previews for every team around the National Hockey League. The last episode we did the Metropolitan Division, and this episode we are going to be doing the Central Division. So it's going to be the same criteria, but for those who didn't listen to the last episode, we're going to go from 8-1 standings wise and preview the teams that way. We're going to give our MVP, we're going to give our sleeper player young gun, and then we are going to talk about where we think they're going to finish in the standings. So let's hop right in here with the Chicago Blackhawks. Last year, they went 25, 46, and 11 for 61 points. They had a minus 70 difference. They were 8th in the Central Division. Heading into this year, they did acquire new players in Burakovsky and Sam Lafferty. They also got Philip Kurashev, or they also departed from Philip Kurashev, Craig Smith, Pat Maroon, and Alec Martinez are the most notable guys they let go from. So, LeBlanc, what do you think about Chicago heading into this year?
Chicago Blackhawks, not the Bears, but it's gonna be buckle up. I don't know how to say it any nicer, but yeah, it's gonna be another one of those years where it's like, here we go again. It's another year of taking the next step forward. Another year of how can the youth get better. Another year of development. It's not going to be a year of let's leap towards the playoffs. They're not at that point yet.
No,
I think they're 2 years away from being 2 years away.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
They have some good pieces in there, but just depth wise, not there yet. They got some young players who I'm excited to see come up and play this year. The back end should be better this year. In net should be very solid, though, this year. We also forgot about Spencer Knight got his money.
I actually have that right here. I was going to discuss that. Spencer Knight did sign a 3-year, $5.83 million contract until 2026-27. I got no qualms with this. This is a good deal. I think this is like a contract that will, again, as you said, like they're 2 years away from being 2 years away. So by the time this deal kicks in, they'll be 1 year away from being 2 years away. So by the time this deal's done, they could be like right at a playoff position.
And I think it's good for the organization and for Knight because at the end of this contract, he's still an RFA.
Exactly. That's a really good acquisition there really good re-signing there by Chicago. So I was going to point that out. But yeah, I think like, again, defensively, they could be better. There's a lot of youth on that back end, though. You got Alex Vlasic there. You got Lev Shinov expected to play. Sam Renzel could be a dark horse pick for the Calder. I think that there's a lot of bright spots on that defensive core. The forward core is where like I just look at it and I'm like, I don't like this. They're still lacking another star talent. They got some good guys in there though, like Frank Nazer will be good again this year, take another step. Bedard should as well. I also think like Oliver Moore can make the team. Landon Slager could be there as well. But for the most part, you got your mix of veterans and just meh on that forward core.
Like you said, like Nazer is actually my breakout for this team. I think he's going to break out in a big way this year. Oliver Moore is a guy where I need to see more from him. Because in the AHL last year, he wasn't bad, but he wasn't like he could play up to his potential. That's what I'm going to say there. He could play.
Oliver Moore was with Minnesota in the NCAA.
Sorry, my bad. Not in the NCAA. I'm confusing leagues. But what I'm saying is he didn't have the best year at Minnesota. I think he comes to the he make the team, but I feel like in the AHL I want to see him prove his worth.
He did have 4 assists in 9 games played with the Blackhawks, so there is that to take a look at. But I agree. I think he does need to definitely take a step here in his rookie year, and we'll see what happens, obviously. Who is your MVP?
Bedard.
Yeah, it's got to be Bedard. I don't really know what other answer you can go with. For my sleeper young gun player, I did go with Sam Rinzel. I think he is the dark horse for the Calder. I think you could go with a couple other names here as well. My prediction for divisional standings is 8th once again, sadly.
Yeah, like I said, my pick already. It's Frank Nazar. Been hiring him since before he got drafted. I expect big things from him. My standings is 8th. I could see them. I think their ceiling could be as high as 7th, though. That's their ceiling for me.
Yeah, they could make it 7th. It would have to take somebody above them being absolutely horrible, though. So I do want to preface that. Yeah. And then also
ceiling 7th, floor 8th. My bad.
Yeah. One thing that I want to mention here before we move on, they do have Jeff Blashill as their brand new head coach. So that is also something you want to keep in mind there as well when you look at Chicago.
Stop laughing. Stop laughing. It's not funny.
Stop laughing, Red Wings fans. No, Blashill, I think, has good experience with youth. I feel like he was on a horrible Red Wings team. So, like, I don't know how you can really say that he was – I mean, like, again.
Yeah, I mean, we've had coaches who, like, were written off, and then they go to a team, and then, hey, they're better in their second opportunity, which most coaches are better in their second opportunity.
Yeah, for the most part. So I agree with that. All right, let's move on then from Chicago. Next up, we have the Nashville Predators. Now, Nashville, they're not – I mean, Chicago's not in a great spot, but I think Nashville might be in a worser spot than the Chicago Blackhawks, in my opinion. Last year, they went 30, 44, and 8 for 68 points. They had a minus 60 difference this past year. Yeah, Nashville with a massive fall from grace. They did not really make a lot of moves. They were kind of like Chicago. They didn't do a whole lot. They did bring in Eric Haula. They brought in Nicholas Hague and Nick Perbix. They also brought in let go of Colton Sissons, Jeremy Lazo, and Jacob Vrana, and then Kiefer Bellows as well. So, yeah, I don't think Nashville really changes that much. I believe they will be around the same, maybe a little bit better. There is a possibility that all these players mesh together better this year, and they go on a run, but I can't see it.
I look at Nashville's roster, and I can describe it in less than 5 words. And those words are Jesus Murphy. Like, what are we doing?
No, yeah, this is like a mix of like you have. If this team was a team 5 years ago, it could be a cup team. Like I'm not honestly.
Yeah.
But I look at that bottom 6 in the forward core, and I'm just like, my God.
I look at the bottom 6, and you know what I say? What is that? What is that? Like
not great.
Top 6 isn't bad though. It's not horrible. It's not like I'm not writing home about it though.
Yeah.
Defensively, like last year, I think the worst part about Nashville was defensively they couldn't defend for shit.
And I think nothing changes.
Nothing changes. Nick Hague comes in.
Hague will be okay.
It will be okay, but in a top line role.
Yossi dealt with that injury last year. He had like that disease that he dealt with. Yeah. And like if he goes down again, oh my God. They won't be able to stop anything. If it's like they're Hussein Saros. I pray for you. I pray for Hussein Saros. My God. Yeah, like it's such an ugly team. And I'm sorry to say that. Like I'm not gonna rule out the possibility that they mesh together better and they go on a run, but Barry Trotz didn't do anything to change this team from last year. Not that much. So
I will say the one saving grace about Nashville is that they are well coached.
That's true. I like Andrew Brunette, but what is that really going to do? That didn't do good last year.
I mean, for the young players, it's good. It gets to them to establishing good tactics. Because you a bad coach coaching young players and they develop bad tactics, it's hard to get those tactics out of them.
I will say some positive things here about Nashville before we get into like our MVPs and stuff. I do think they have one of the more under the radar prospect pools in the league. You could see guys like Matthew Wood make the roster this year. You could see Joakim Kemmel make it as well. I think David Edstrom has a chance to make this team too. He's been very good in Sweden, is one of the more under the radar prospects. Zachary LaRue going into his second year. Evangelista is not yet signed to a contract. I did see a report today that they are in talks, but there's still a gap between the two of them coming together on a contract. So when they sign, we'll report on it, obviously. But as of right now, we don't have a whole lot on that. But overall, my MVP is going to be Saros.
My MVP, as I said, it was Saros. But just because I said of the defending, I'll say Yossi. Because like when he's there, the defense is a lot better. When he's not there, Jesus Murphy. Like,
I agree. I 100% agree.
I have my breakout. I don't know if you have yours, but
yeah, go ahead.
I have Fedor Svechkov.
That's a good pick. Yeah, I was looking at him. I am going to go with, and I was really balancing between this. I'm going to go with Matthew Wood. I think he makes this team, and he was good with I believe Minnesota. I'm not sure where he was last year.
Really, UConn.
Yeah, Minnesota. He was with Minnesota.
Minnesota. Okay, I don't know why I thought UConn.
Yeah, so he should be the team this year. But
Fedor Svechkov, he's actually projected to be their second line center.
Really? Oh
yes.
yeah. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong.
Yes, unless until Evangelista comes back. But if he's in that role, he's a defensive. He was started to be a defensive center, and he put up quite a bit of points last year, considering he had a small sample size.
Yeah. So I have one more question.
Yes.
And this is something that I was inquiring about with the Predators. It's Philip Forsberg. So if Nashville is not good this year, when Nashville is not that good this year, sorry, forgot to preface. Do you think it's a possibility that they decide, yeah, maybe we'll kind of start, tearing things apart here? Could they look at trading Philip Forsberg?
Forsberg had just signed an extension like 2 years ago.
He did. So he is currently 31 years old. He has 5 years left on an $8.5 million contract.
I do want to say because this happens a lot. He also kind of this was Carlson for many years. He did marry a local girl, and he married a country star. But that's besides the point. The point is,
of course,
I think it'd be hard for him to walk away from that scenario. But if they're doing bad, they probably might ask him for a trade list. Yes, I think that does happen. But I feel like the first people are going to ask, "Do you want to move?" is going to be Stamkos and Marchessault.
Yeah, that's true. But they're older than Forsberg, so that's
the point, though. That's why they want to get rid of them. That's
true. That's true. Yeah. But overall, Nashville, I'm not expecting to improve that much this year. A team that I am expecting to improve a little bit.
Where do you have their standing? Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have them 7th. I'm sorry.
I have them at 7th, but I didn't do floor and ceiling for all team. Their floor is 8th. I could see them finishing below Chicago if things go off the rails again. If everything meshes, and it's like if it was perfect, like it's the perfect year. I still think their ceiling is going to be probably 5th if everything molds together. And 6th. If something happens, but it's 6th. So I think their ceiling is 6th and their floor is 8.
Yeah. All right. I'll agree with that. Yeah. All right. Now, actually moving on to a team that I think is going to improve is the Utah Mammoth. So last year when they were the hockey club, they went 38, 31, and 13 for 89 points. They had a -10 differential. They were 6th. They were pretty solid through a lot of the year. They did deal with some injury problems, though. In terms of new moves, they did do a decent amount of good work. They brought in J.J. Peterka, Brandon Tanev, Nate Schmidt, Scott Perunovich, and Vitek Vanacek They let go of Nick Bjugstad, Michael Kesselring, Matthias Michelli, and Josh Doan are the guys who are no longer on this Utah Mammoth roster. People are going to think for me, since I'm a Mammoth fan, former Coyote fan, that I think this team will make the playoffs. I'm not so sure about that. However, there are some young up-and-coming players on this team. You have Peterka added to a very stacked top six. And I think there are some very under-the-radar players who are going to be making their debut in Utah or Tucson this year. And that is Danil Boot and Dmitry Simashev. They are coming over. They are. So I want to put that out there. But this is a team with a very stacked forward core, a good defensive core. Goaltending, I like Vizhmelka. I have my doubts below that. But I like this roster, and I think it will improve. LeBlanc, what do you think?
I like what I see. I like what I see in Utah. Never thought I'd be saying that. I like what I see in Utah. That forward core is actually pretty underrated. I'm not gonna lie.
It is.
The addition of
Nobody's talking
Peterka,
about how good it really is.
yeah. The addition of Peterka, Tanev, if Boo can get into the lineup, that'd be great. I like what I see defensively. Honestly, if Sergachev looked great last year with the hockey club.
He did. I'm hoping that Nate Schmidt will be what he was in Florida, but I am worried to the God of me that he won't be. That he'll go back to what he was in Winnipeg.
If a guy like John Marino can come back healthy this year, that'd be great for them as well. I like their defensive core. Is Valimaki still there?
Valimaki is still there.
Okay, he's still there. So he can maybe come back to form. That'd be nice. In between the pipes, Vizhmelka, he's good, but he's inconsistent. I have no idea who their backup goalie is now because I know Ingram is in the player assistance program as of right now.
Vanacek.
It is Vanacek. There we go. You already said that. Yeah. So
Stanley Cup champion.
But between that is true. Stanley Cup champion. But
did nothing.
I'm not. This tandem is all right. It's not great. It's not. It's average.
Yeah, I think that's their biggest weakness. But overall, like, I think this Mammoth team is unbelievable. Anybody who says like they're not going to be good this year, I don't know what to tell you. Like, they're going to be good. My MVP is going to be Logan Cooley.
My MVP is the obvious pick, Clayton Keller.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm going with Cooley just as my other one, just to be different. But yeah, Keller will probably be the MVP. And then my sleeper, my young gun player, is actually going to be Dmitry Simashev. I think Simashev could actually come in and play regular minutes right away for this team because people forget he is a KHL champion and he was logging up minutes for the locomotive team.
So I put Simashev there, but just because you said Simashev, I'm gonna say Danil Boot.
Both very good picks.
Yes, both very great. Your standing for them.
This is what I've been really bouncing around and talking about, and I hate to say it, but fifth and missing the playoffs.
Okay, so I got him fifth and making the playoffs.
Okay. All right.
Their floor is sixth. That's their floor.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, sixth is their floor.
Their ceiling is probably fourth.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. I don't think they can get in there in the divisional spot unless if a team plummets this year.
Like, the only reason that happens is if the team gets injured to hell. Like, that's just me being realistic because injuries happen in hockey. It happens. It's a rough sport.
Yeah, I agree. So again, like I mean, you do want to say this too. Like last year, their blue line got decimated. So it's not out of the question that they could have injuries and things could happen. So I won't disagree with that. All right, moving into the teams that made the playoffs last year. At fifth last year in the standings, we have the St. Louis Blues. The Blues went 44-30-8 for 96 points. They were plus 21. They lost in round one to the Winnipeg Jets in game 7. People forget they were just 2 seconds away from playing the Dallas Stars in the second round. But regardless, the Blues made some new acquisitions, acquiring guys like Pia Suter, Nick Bjugstad, and Logan Mailloux. And then they also let go of guys like Zach Boldu, Radek Faksa, Ryan Suter, and Nick Leddy, are guys who are no longer on the St. Louis Blues. So I am surprisingly pretty high on St. Louis.
I like St. Louis. I'm not gonna be as high on them as you are, though.
Okay, and that's fine. I like their forward core. I think they have a very good top six. Their bottom six with the adds of Suter and Bjugstad, it's great. Jimmy Snuggerud is going to be dynamic this year. That kid was incredible for St. Louis in their last couple of games in the regular season and in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Their blue line is where I have the most concern. I like Parayko and Falk. Cam Fowler needs to have that season again, or at least half of that season again he had with the Blues last year. Logan Mailloux could be interesting. People have told me that he can play regular minutes. Okay, we'll see. Bennington and Hofer are the guys on your tandem. Bennington, I have a completely changed opinion about because I was hating on him all last year, and he proved me wrong in the Four Nations, proved me wrong in the playoffs. So I'll say that. And then Joel Hofer, great as well. No complaints about Joel Hofer. He is phenomenal too. Honestly, one of the more underappreciated tandems in the league, in my opinion.
How dare you not mention my sweet baby boy, Philip Broberg?
Oh, sorry. I wasn't looking at Broberg. Broberg will be good as well.
Forward core, like honestly, St. Louis has probably a top 10 forward core in the league.
Probably. Honestly.
Yeah, they're stacked. They're stacked. All four lines are pretty stacked, in my opinion. I like that, and they can score. And that's the one thing that's hard to do in this league is score. So if they're getting score consistently on a consistent level with these guys, then they're going to be fine. Defensively, they have guys who are proven, and they have a lot of guys that are hey, look, if they take that next step, they'll be solid.
Yeah.
Between the pipes, I'm not even worried about it either. Between the pipes, Bennington is a big game goaltender. Not even worried about it.
He is. Yeah, I agree. So. Good take there. My MVP is going to be. It's actually going to be Jordan Bennington. We'll go
my MVP is Robert Thomas.
Okay, yeah, both very good picks. Your sleeper player, I'm going with Jimmy Snuggerud. He's my boy.
I went with Logan Mailloux because I think getting cast out from Montreal, that's especially when that's like you're Quebecer, you're from Quebec. That's a lot of fire under your ass.
It should. Good pick. Standings wise, I have them fourth and making the playoffs.
I have them fourth, but I think they could. I got them fourth making the playoffs. Their floor is fifth. I think this is a pretty safe playoff team. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, I think so too. I wouldn't be shocked if they come out and play really slow, but you forget they have Jim Montgomery.
Their ceiling, and you're gonna. You might yell at me for this. Their ceiling is second.
That's not crazy at all. That's not that crazy. I really do think they've taken the last couple of years to kind of turn around this roster with some guys they've drafted in steals of picks. I'm excited to see where this team goes. And not to mention they have a few other players in their system too who could make the roster, like Delaware Dvorsky. You have Justin Carbonneau, who probably won't play, but even still is very, very good.
Yes, and also the new look, the new unis.
I don't know how I feel about them. I don't like the logo. I like
them on the ice, but the logo is nice though.
Okay, I'll agree with that. I like the logo. I don't like the logo, but I like the jerseys. So I just want to preface that.
I like the logo, but jury's still out. Jury's still out though.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. All right, number 4 now. We move on to the Minnesota Wild. This is so difficult for me to do. Minnesota was 45-30-7 for 97 points. They were, again, fourth in that division. They went in there. They played very well against Vegas. They played very well. I was rooting for them against the Golden Knights. They did lose that series, though. They went out. They acquired Vladimir Tarasenko, Nico Sturm, Nicholas Abe-Kubel, Ben Gleason, and Cal Peterson. Then they let go of guys like Frederic Gaudreau, Marc-Andre Fleury, Declan Chisholm, Gustav Nyquist, John Merrill, Devin Shore, and Justin Brazeau are the guys who are no longer on this roster.
I'm going to be frank.
Oh, no.
I am not high on this team.
It is difficult for me to do this. It is very, very difficult for me to do this. This is a highly competitive division.
It is.
this division could be war. It probably will be war because last year, 5 of
It
the
was
8
war.
made the playoffs. Yeah, it will be. 5 of the 8 teams made the playoffs. And you factor those in, and you bring in the Mammoth, who we think will take a step this year. That's 6 of the 8 teams who could contend for a playoff spot. Minnesota will not be bad. They will not be bad. They have a good forward core. Kaprizov, I like. Eriksson, I like. Rossi, I like. Tarasenko, I don't know. Maybe. Like, he'll be okay. He just did not fit in Detroit. It was just not a good fit. Defensively,
the past 3 places he's been, he hasn't been a fit, I'll be honest.
except for Florida. Florida, he was good.
Florida, he was all right, yeah. I look at this wild decor, and I have question marks.
Brodin will not be there to start the year. I do want to preface that. I like Faber. I mean, I like this defensive core. Like, I'm not going to say that I don't like it.
Faber is a question for me. Faber had a pretty bad sophomore year.
Yeah, it was a soft.
Yeah, I want to see him bounce back. I think he will. I don't think he's going to bounce back to what he was in his rookie year. Bring in a guy like Z Boyum. What's he going to bring to the table? Is he going to pop off to start off, or is he going to start out slow?
Who knows? Who knows?
Exactly. And like, there's a bunch of question marks around Minnesota. The biggest question mark I think is around the impending free agency of Kirill Kaprizov.
That's right. So let's hop in and discuss this because this is going to be a development that we're going to be following here for a little bit. So Kirill Kaprizov reportedly rejected a $16 million contract for 8 years, which adds up to $128 million. It would have seen him become the highest paid player in the NHL by far. By far. Dry gets 14. That clears $2 million off of Kaprizov.
It was
so
16 and a half, so it's
yeah.
So it's $2.5 million. And for him to start saying, "No, I'm good."
Now, Bill Guerin did come out and say that this is not true. He said, quote, "I know 2 things. That info didn't come from us, and it didn't come from Kirill's agent. I don't know where it came from." We did see a report as well that Kaprizov, the Wild went to Kaprizov and asked him for a trade list. Now, I will say this as well because apparently when they were asked about this too, apparently these rumors were premature. However, I'm going to say this. The report did come from Frank Saravelli. So I would not be shocked at all if this is false. At all. If this is not true.
So,
however, I'm not done.
Okay.
However, do you really think Bill Guerin's going to come out and say, "Oh yeah, he said that"? Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no GM's going to come out and say that at all.
So, want to put that out there.
Here's my thing. You can't come out and say, "Yeah, we can do it," and then another report's like, "Oh, I guess for a trade list." Listen, one of these things is not like the other. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you can't say, "Oh yeah, we didn't do that," and then ask for the trade list. I know that they both might be false, but if they're true, then you can't be caught. Like, Bill Guerin may have been caught slipping. Like, I'm not gonna. But and there's been reports that Kaprizov wants to play in a big market. As I will say this, and I don't mean to harp on anybody, but as most of the really good Russians want to do in their prime. Yep. They want to play in a big market. It's just how it is. It's always how it's been.
Yep. I will say this. I don't think the trade list is true. I don't think that's true. I
think one of these is true.
I think it's the contract reject. I think that's true. Mm-hmm. If any of these 2 is true, I think that's true. Now, like, again, you said he wants to play in a big market. There could be a lot of thoughts to this. There could be a lot of thoughts as to why. So I have a couple that I do want to discuss. It could be that. It could be the fact that he doesn't want to play. He wants to play in a bigger market. I'm wearing a Chicago hat. Just want to put that out there to the world. Not saying that will happen, but I just want to, put that out there. It could be a couple of other things too. It could be the money's not enough to him, which, I mean, it's crazy that he said no, but he's kind of valid to say no. He is unbelievably valuable to this Minnesota team.
And with the cap going up, that's going to be a pretty good contract.
Yeah, so maybe it's not the money. That brings me to my next point. Maybe it's not the money. It could be the term. Maybe he doesn't want to sign an 8-year contract and just solidify his career in Minnesota. Maybe he doesn't want to do that. Or maybe it's not even that. Maybe he wants to be paid more in 4 years. Or 3 years. Or however many years the contract
I'll put sign those 4-year deals to get more money later.
Austin Matthews did.
Matthews did it. The one thing I will say is that if this is true about him not wanting to stay there, I want you to, do you know what the 3 biggest American cities are?
I'm wearing one of them, aren't I?
Yep. So Chicago,
New York,
LA. Those are the 3 places I think he will sign. And I say New York, I don't mean the freaking Islanders. I want to put that out there right now. But it's the Rangers. It's the Rangers, the Kings, and the Blackhawks.
Shut up, partner. Yeah. I agree. I think those are the places that you really need to look at. I'll get into that here in just a second. I do have one more thing I want to say about why he may have rejected this. It could be the playoff success. Since Kaprizov's been there, they haven't been able to win at all.
And he's been dynamite every single playoff run.
Yes. I think, I'm going to be honest with you, if they even make it to the second round, I think he actually might sign that deal. Possibly. But because the Wild have been so limited with their playoff success, and a lot of it is self-inflicted because of the Chuck Fletcher signing those contracts, and then Guerin did buy them out, but I think it was the right move. But like that was there. It could be the playoff success. It could come down to this year's playoffs and them going further in the playoffs. It could come down to that.
People aren't talking about that. That's one thing I think people are missing. When they're like, "Oh, why Kaprizov wants to play in a big market? He wants to leave." Well, if I didn't make it out of the first round for multiple years, I don't think I want to stay.
Again, maybe it isn't that. Maybe even if they do go far, he doesn't want to be there. But they haven't done anything to really give him a reason to stay.
Yeah.
Like, giving him a lot of money isn't the... I mean, like, I get it, because these people are Russians, and Russians like money. But money might not be the factor here. It might not even be term. They haven't proven to him that they can win here.
Yeah, and that's... and that's one of the things that no one's talking about.
Exactly. So, going back to what you said with the teams that you think he could go to, I agree it'll be a major market. LA... If, like, he goes on the block, they need to go after him.
The Kings will put. It's Ken Holland though, and he's like, "Oh, we don't need to change anything up."
Nah,
that's all he did at Edmonton. He didn't do shit. He just, David, it's fine. It's fine. If you're LA and he goes on the block, you push heaven and earth to get that brother. I don't care. I don't care what it costs. I will trade. Listen, you want Brant Clark? Take Brant Clark. You want honestly, you want Adrian Kempe? Take Adrian Kempe. You
want Turcotte? Take Turcotte. You want our first? Take our first. Like, you trade the world for this guy.
You want Quinn Byfield? Go ahead. Take him. Like,
I don't know about that, but you trade the world.
It doesn't Clark or Byfield, but you know what I mean.
Yes, I do know. I do know what you mean. Like,
yeah, but
with Kopitar leaving, LA was bad for a while.
Yes,
and they've been good for a little bit here. But it feels like they're going to go back to being bad again in like a year or two.
Yeah.
You move the world for him.
But that's the thing. If he goes on the block, he goes there. If you're the Rangers, you wait until free agency hits.
Yeah, you don't give anything up.
Because here's the thing. With Panarin's, his parents' contract's also up this year.
That's true. And we will discuss that in a future episode.
So you swap it out.
Exactly.
You bring Kaprizov, you dump Panarin. If you're Chicago, you also wait. You don't trade anything. You don't have the opportunity. You have the assets, but you're not giving that up.
No, that's a horrible
Yeah,
idea.
exactly. So the only team that could trade for him is LA. The other teams that try and trade for him are just gonna have him for a rental.
I agree. So there you go. But yeah, going back to Minnesota as a team,
Yeah.
I didn't get to mention the goaltending. Philip Gustafson was phenomenal last year for the Minnesota Wild. He was great in the playoffs. I do have some concerns, and I don't know if you're on the same page as me, LeBlanc. I have some concerns about Jesper Wallstedt.
I also have some concerns about Jesper Wallstedt.
Last year, he was not great in the AHL. Now, Iowa was not a great team.
Iowa stinks. Where's Febreze? Febreze. Iowa
Yeah, get
stinks.
Febreze back out here. They weren't good. So I just want to say that before I go in here and disrespect them a little bit more. They weren't a good team. They had Travis Boyd as their leading scorer. That should tell you what you need to know.
Okay.
But regardless,
Leafs legend Travis Boyd.
yes, Coyotes legend Travis Boyd as well. So I don't know. The numbers kind of scare me a little bit, but it could just be a down year because the year before he had a .910. So I don't want to be criticized here, but he will play more games. He will be in the NHL longer.
He is the backup now. There's
Yes.
this is make or
And
break.
Cal Peterson.
And
No.
I'm going to say this right now regarding the goaltending. Every other year, Phil Gustafson is a world beater. Last year, world beater. This year,
There is
Maybe.
that too.
maybe.
He struggles to stay consistent every year. I do kind of want to highlight this. So 21-22, 18 games played with Ottawa. Oh, wait, I'll go back a year before that. 2020-21, plays 9 games with Ottawa, .933, 13 games with Belleville, .910. 21-22, 18 games played with Ottawa, a .892. 2022-23, he gets traded to Minnesota, by the way. 39 games played with Minnesota, .931. 23-24, 45 games played with Minnesota, .899. 2024-25, 58 games played with Minnesota, .914.
He's an odd year merchant. I don't know. That's all I can say about that. Like, until he breaks this pattern, I'm not going to trust it. It's such a consistent pattern.
It's so strange. So I just wanted to make that known. That is a factor. MVP, we spent way too much time with Minnesota. MVP is Kirill Kaprizov.
Kaprizov,
It's night and day besides that. Young gun to look out for. I am going to go with Zeev Boyum.
I said Z Boom as well. I don't know any young forward that's coming up to Minnesota right now. It's going to make an impact.
But you know what? Actually, I'm changing my answer. Danila Yurov.
Oh yes, I forgot about Yurov. Yes, he will be in the lineup this year.
The most under the radar prospect in the league. Nobody is talking about how Yurov is going to play for Minnesota this year.
Mm-hmm.
He did
really good in the
KHL though. 25 points in 46 games played compared to 49 and 62 the year prior. That is something you can look at, but he's got the dynamic skill. He'll be great.
Where do you have Minnesota finishing?
And again, I hate to do this. 6th.
So we talked about playoff success, about Kaprizov not wanting to stay. This will make sure he does not want to come back. I have him finishing 6th, missing the playoffs.
And I hate
saying that because
I hate it.
Their floor, once again, I'm gonna do their floor is 6. Their ceiling, they could finish 3rd in this division.
Second, I think they could get second. I think they could.
I'm gonna stick with 3 for now. So
it's hard for me to do this because this division is a bloodbath. But I think 1 to 2 teams is not going to make the playoffs out of the really good teams, and I unfortunately think that Minnesota will be that team.
Which is why, once again, we talk about realignment. This is why we need to go back to 1-8.
I agree. I wholeheartedly agree. Because this division is so unbelievably stacked, while the Pacific is like 3 teams. 4 teams. Maybe 5, you could argue. But regardless, Let's move on from Minnesota. We talked about them for a little bit here. Let's go on to the Colorado Avalanche, who finished third in that division. They went 49, 29, and 4 for 102 points. They were third. They lost in round one to the Dallas Stars. Mikko Rantanen ended their season, and it was a year of transition for sure for Colorado. Heading into next year, I have some thoughts. But they did go out. They acquired Brent Burns. They went out. They got Ronnie Adder. They let go of Jonathan Drouin, Charlie Coyle, Joel Kiviranta, Miles Wood, Ryan Lindgren, Jimmy Vesey, and Eric Johnson. Colorado is going to be a very good team. There are some questions, though, revolving around Colorado that I have some concern about.
Okay.
Just how is Landeskog going to do this year?
Yeah.
How is the depth going to be? Because the depth is not nearly as strong as it was even a year ago. I don't know. They fixed the goaltending. I love Blackwood. I love Wedgwood. My concern is the depth and the overall star talent.
They're very top heavy.
They are.
But I think you also forgot they also brought in a couple younger players to come in and fill the void. Like I know they brought in Gavin Brindley, who I expect to make.
Yeah, they did. They did bring in.
I expect him to make his NHL. I think not his debut. Will make his NHL rookie year this year with the Avs.
Yeah, I believe he did play a game with Columbus last year.
Once again, very top heavy, but I feel like that top six, loaded. That top four defense, loaded. Defensive goaltending, pretty good. I like what I see in Colorado. You have two world beaters in McKinnon and Makar, who are going to lead the ship in the right direction.
Yeah, I agree. So I think that brings you a lot of optimism. My MVP is going to be Nathan McKinnon.
Yeah, it's Nathan McKinnon for me. I don't have a breakout player. But since I said him, I'm going to say Gavin Brindley.
I don't either, because there's not a lot of notable players. I'll go with, just for fun, Ivan. Shout out to my boy, Ivan. You can't tell if you're saying his first or his last name, because it's the same thing. So, there you go. My standing pick, I think they'll be around probably, I'll say second.
Call me crazy. They're winning the Central.
Really? Okay. And
I'll get into my reasons when we get to the other two teams, but their floor is third in the division. Their ceiling is 1, and I have them hitting their ceiling this year.
Okay, there you go. My ceiling is probably first for them as well, by the way. My floor, I could see them finishing fourth. If they have a ton of injuries again.
Yeah, if McKinnon goes down and Makar goes down, the Blues could hop them, I think.
That's true. So there you go. That kind of proves your point. All right, moving on then to the Dallas Stars. The Stars, 50, 26, and 6 for 106 points. They were second in their division last year. They beat Colorado. They beat Winnipeg. They lost to the Oilers in the Western Conference Finals again. The guys they brought in, it's not a long list. Radek Faksa and Vladislav Kolyanichuk. The guys they departed from, Mikhail Granlund, Mason Marchment, Cody Ceci, Evgeny Dadonov, and Matt Dumba.
Matt Dumba's gone, yeah!
I know, they're celebrating that. What do you think about Dallas?
They lost a lot of pieces.
They did.
They lost a lot of pieces. Defensively, you still haven't fixed the issue.
I think it'll be better.
It'll be better, but they haven't fixed it completely. Forward core is great. They did lose Granlund. They did lose Marchment. Those are two big bottom 6 losses.
They do need a right-shot defenseman, which begs the question of Rasmus Anderson. I've seen that this offseason, but I don't think they have the pieces to do that. Well, they do, but I don't think they want to give up those pieces.
They just give up pieces to bring in Rantanen. So I don't know. But if you're in this position, you got to go for it. There's one thing I don't trust with this team, and that's the coaching.
Yeah, Glenn
Gluckston, who, by the way, he's coached there before. This is his second stint with the Stars. Glenn Glutzson has only lasted 2 years in every stop he's been. He's been to Dallas and Calgary. I think he coached Calgary. I think it's been almost 10 years ago now. I don't trust it. Glenn Glutton's team. I think he's made the playoffs one year, and that was with Calgary.
And that is because they fired Pete DeBoer way too late. I understand they were in the conference finals, but they still fired him like 2 weeks afterwards.
I'm gonna say this, and this might come off as a surprise. I think they should have kept DeBoer for the next season. It was too late in the process to let him go.
I think there were players who were like really against him.
And this is how it goes. DeBoer gets in there. He has decent seasons with that team, and then the players don't like him. That's how it always has been.
Yep. So, a couple things to look at here. Again, the forward core I think is great. It's still great. Defensively, they haven't improved. Goaltending will be the same. Jason Robertson is on his last year of the 4-year contract he signed back in 2022.
He is an RFA.
So, he is an RFA. I will say that. So, if you want to beg the question of a Rasmus Anderson trade, which he will be traded, I think that's like out of the question. You can look at it. Also, Thomas Harley is expiring as well, and he could get paid.
You gotta pay. You gotta pay that, brother.
I don't know, LeBlanc.
I'll be honest. I'm not as high on the Stars as I was as last year.
I agree, but I still have them winning the division. Okay. My MVP will be Mikko Rantanen.
That's my MVP as well.
Okay. My breakout player is nobody.
I have nobody either. So I have the Stars finishing third in the division.
Leon Bischel. I forgot about him. I forgot he was still a little bit younger. He's 21.
Right. Oh, I have the Stars finishing in third.
I have them first.
Their ceiling is 1. Their floor is. I honestly am going to say this because I feel like if players go down, I'm going to say their floor is 5.
No, I think they still make. I think it's
a 5 if they make the playoffs. Their floor is if everything goes wrong. That's what I'm saying.
Well, if everything goes wrong, they miss that. Like they can miss the playoffs. So like again,
I think there's still a lock to make playoffs. I just think if everything goes wrong, it'll be a fringe wild card team.
Okay. All right, and then last but not least, then we have the Winnipeg Jets. The Jets went 56-22-4 for 116 points. They were first in the division. They lost in round 2 to the Dallas Stars, who we just talked about. Winnipeg made some moves. They made a couple of interesting moves. They went out. They brought in Jonathan Toews, which could be very interesting this year. Gustav Nyquist and Tanner Pearson. The guys they let go of, Nikolai Ehlers, Mason Appleton, Brandon Tanev, and Rasmus Kupari. So Winnipeg, I think, will be good this year. I don't want to say they'll be bad. I do believe they will take a step backwards, though.
Yes, I agree. I think they will take a step back. With Winnipeg, it's hard to replace a guy like Ehlers. And they brought in guys like Nyquist and Pearson to try and fill the void in that bottom 6. And, sorry, if you put both players together, that's still not going to equal Ehlers.
Yep.
I think the forward core is going to take... The bottom 6 is still looking a little suspect in my eyes. They have some young players coming up that could fill the void there, for sure. But I feel like Winnipeg is still a playoff team in my eyes. I feel like Winnipeg is all... But I think their window of contention might be closing a little earlier than expected.
I don't disagree. I think Winnipeg... we did say this when they signed Connor Hellebuck and Mark Scheifele. They were at that, a little bit of a crossroads with the team where, do you want to lock in with these players and try and go forward, or do you want to tear it down here a little bit? Yeah. They decided to lock in with these players. And I think that's worked out. They've had some very good seasons since they've signed those contracts. But we are at that point where the window is shortening. It's closing.
Yeah. And I will say this, defensively, they have a very good defense core. And goaltending, they got the best goalie in the league.
They do. So that is a very major positive that they have. And I think that'll be a big part of why they even sniff the Stanley Cup playoffs, in my opinion. So overall, I think Winnipeg will be a good team. My division or my MVP is going to be Connor Hellebuck.
Connor Hellebuck, yeah.
My guy that I think will be like your young gun type of player is going to be a guy like what's his name? It just escaped from me.
So
Brad Lambert. Sorry,
you have Lambert. I have Brady Yeager.
Yeager's a good one as well.
Mhm.
Like, I will say this about them: they do have a little bit of like a sneaky, underrated prospect pool. They have depth in it, but it's not a lot of top end talent.
Yeah, another name I'll mention is that Solomon Monson could get some NHL work this year, so if he can get in there, that'd be great. Winnipeg's got like young guys in the pipeline, so like I say it's closing, but I say it's closing as in I don't want to mention. I hate saying it because I'm also from a small market, but when you're at especially the guys who are on their second contract, once they're done that second contract, usually is the time where they walk, and that's just me. That's me speaking from experience. That's not me trying to bash Winnipeg or anything like that. And you look at a guy like you gotta look at a guy like Kyle Connor.
Agreed, 100%. All right, so what's your standing pick for them?
I have them second in the Central.
I have them third.
Right. I have Winnipeg their ceiling is 2. I don't see them winning this division this year.
Yeah, I don't see them winning the division. My ceiling would probably be 2 as well. My floor could be 5 and missing playoffs if things go wrong.
My floor is 4. I think they're still a safe playoff team.
Okay. All right. Well, that puts us through the preview. I would like you to read off your standings from 8 to 1. Or 1 to 8. 1 to 8. So I'm sorry. 1 to 8.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Avs, Jets, Stars, Blues making playoffs at 4, Mammoth making playoffs at 5, Wild at 6, Pred 7, Blackhawks 8. And I want to say this before everything: Blues, Mammoth, and Wild all come in within a point or 2 of each other.
That is as well. I do want to say that as well. So,
like, that's going to be a bloodbath. At the end of the year, they're going to come with that 3-team race for those 2 wildcard spots.
Yeah. Just to confirm, you said Blues 4th, Mammoth 5th?
Yes, and both making playoffs.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, then that being said, who is your MVP for the Central Division?
My MVP for the Central Division? I'm going to say Connor Hellebuck still. He's still the best goalie in the league.
I am going to say Nathan McKinnon.
Okay.
All right. Well, there you go. That is our Central Division preview for the Northern Block podcast. We do have one more thing we're going to discuss, and that is the hot topics around sports. So, LeBlanc, you got anything interesting for us here as we take a look at the sporting world currently?
College football, there was a huge game. Georgia went into Tennessee, and I don't want to say they got lucky because I am kind of salty about it still, but they came into Tennessee and they won in overtime when Tennessee could have put it away multiple times. Tennessee had them up. Now Georgia has beat Tennessee 9 straight years.
That is pretty wild. Joe Burrow is injured again.
Burrow can't stay healthy. Like he's a top 5 talent, but he can't stay healthy.
He really is. Yeah.
And it sucks to being a Bengals fan. Like if you're a younger fan of Bengals, you're probably like, oh, it's been fine. The old heads will tell you how so much suffering it is being a Bengals fan.
It is a lot of pain with that.
Baseball leading up, the Brewers clinched a playoff spot. The Phillies clinched a berth for the playoffs as well.
The Phillies are fucking unbelievable. Like, Harrison Bader is on another planet right now. Do you want me to read off his stats for you?
For sure.
It's going to take me a minute to find him here, but he has been just such a dynamo for the Philadelphia Phillies. It's like, it's not even funny. Also, did you see that Nick Kurtz missile? Did you see that?
It's the longest grand slam in 20 years.
That's fucking wild.
Like, Nick Kurtz is insane. He's a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. And he might not even be the best rookie in some people's opinions. So, That's the other thing. All right. Harrison Bader's stats in 37 games played with Philadelphia. 44 hits, a 352 batting average, a .410 on base percentage, and then a .954 OPS.
Damn.
He is averaging 1 hit per game
Jeez.
when you look at it in the grand scheme of things.
That's cool.
Dude is unbelievable, and he's got that flow. Oh my god! Like, and I don't want to be that guy, but if I was gay, oh my god, I'd be so gay for him. And that's the worst thing I've ever said on any video I've ever made, but it's the truth.
I don't know if you saw it, but there was a Super Bowl rematch of last year.
There was.
What happened to it? I'm trying to find the quote.
I did see that. Also, shout out to Aroldis Chapman, who has been unbelievable as well.
Chapman, one of the. That's wrong. Chat. Hang on. Just there it is.
Blue Jays swept the Orioles. Notice that as well.
Yes, they did.
The Mets are crumbling.
So after the game was over, it's a quote. The Eagles were kneeling it down for like victory formation. Quote: Chris Jones, one of the Chiefs' defensive linemen, said, "Quote: You don't even have 100 yards." Which Jalen Hurts then responded with, "We won the fucking game. Shut your ass up."
Yeah, I don't know why he's talking shit, dude. You lost. Like,
here's the thing. I don't know. I played football in high school. That doesn't mean much, but like when the team's in victory formation, just shut the fuck up.
Stop talking.
Like, yeah, just, what pissed me off today is that I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. I know, pray for me. They were out of the entire game, and then in the last like 4 minutes, decided, you know what? Let's play some football. They came back within 5, got the onside kick, and then blew it, which just ruined my whole day. I was stewing down here for like 2 hours after the game. Fucking bullshit. I'm over this. If you're gonna lose, just lose. Like, don't give me hope. Don't do that. To give me hope, I had to believe again, and then it's all down the shitter.
It sounds like Ottawa all over again.
Ottawa during the rebuild, and then it was 5-1. They came back 5-out. Don't lose this game. Don't do it, because then I just get pissed off.
Going back to hockey here, we did forget to mention there are teams that are beginning to play rookie games. A couple things to point out here. Did you see the Demidov goal that has been making headline?
I did. Sick.
Yeah. I saw people saying, like, how is he playing against little children? And I agree. You know what's hilarious? Scott Morrow is still a rookie. He played in the rookie game for the Rangers against the Flyers. I'm like, brother, you played in the playoffs. How are you still a rookie? I know, like, I know the requirements, but I'm like, my brother.
I always find it funny, like, what's Unk doing here?
Yeah, what are you doing here, dude? Same with Brendan Hoffman. He probably has the most points in the entire tournament. He's been a rookie for like 4 years.
Yeah, Brendan Hoffman, like, I think he was drafted before Boucher. Like, that's how it's like he's drafted. I think he started in 2020.
2020 or 2021. 2021, I think.
Yeah, because like Boucher was there, and I'm like, when I was like Boucher scored, I'm like, brother is still in the rookie tournament.
Yeah. All right, I got 2 more questions for you to wrap up the show.
Just one more thing. Did you see Yakimchuk's disgusting goals?
I did not see Yakimchuk.
So I always say this because it happens. I've never seen a defenseman with hands like Yakimchuk has. The way he can dangle is ridiculous.
I'm going on Twitter. All right, Yakimchuk. Let's go take a look at this. Oh, yeah. Oh, Jesus. That Toronto goalie's terrible, though.
And then
that kid is nasty. He should not be at the rookie.
And then there's a completion of basically Gabriel Eliasson sends second-round pick from 2024.
Yeah,
Eliasson led the Swedish league in penalty minutes, right?
Yeah.
Like, bro just like murdered Shiprikov today for no reason. Like, it's like, oh, that's boarding interference, whatever you want to call that. And then they didn't kick him out of the game either. So he's still there just trying to cause shit. Like, dude, like, here's the thing. That's such a Pierre Dorian pick because, like, bro is 6'8" and just like rocking your shit. Like, he is just in your business.
Yep. Yep.
Like, if he ever makes to the NHL, he's going to be who's that defenseman that got like Anton Roussel, but like Anton Roussel was like a foot taller.
Literally, yeah. One more thing. Did you see the NHL Network's top 50 players list?
The players or prospects?
Players. Well, we could talk about the prospects. I don't want to get into that. I
don't think I saw the player list. No.
They released the second part to it. They have Bouchard above McAvoy. They have Yossi above Aho. It's interesting. I mean, the 40.
I think I saw a part of it.
The 41 to 50 was the one where I had the most like, what the hell are we doing? Why is Clayton Keller 48? What the hell are we doing?
Yeah. No, I saw like Larkin's 41 over Stützle. I didn't agree with that.
Hagel's at 40. Not even Stu. Robertson. What the hell are we doing?
And Hagel's at 46. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Gensel at 44 is actually just like, that's pretty hilarious.
I'm surprised Forsling's at 39 because they love to glaze the shit out of Forsling.
Forsling they do graze the shit out of them.
They love Forsling. I'm not saying Forsling's bad, but they love him.
Yeah, no, but Bouchard shouldn't be that high. He should be higher than Yossi, though. I'll say that.
Yeah,
Robert Thomas should be a little higher than that.
Right. Yeah. All right.
And I don't see Suzuki in here, which means it's time for me to go off. You're putting Suzuki over Jack Hughes because they put Suzuki way too high in this shit.
Oh, he's not in this list yet. Yeah, he's definitely.
I don't see it. I don't see him.
Yeah, he's definitely above Hughes. Yeah, that's wild. I
find the NHL Network, they glaze the shit out of the big markets.
They do. They never give attention to the smaller market players.
Yeah, and that's what the NHL Network. Because I don't know if you know, the NHL Network got canceled up here. Like, we don't have it as a channel at all.
Really? What? It got canceled?
So they moved. They got bought out and they just canceled it. So the NHL Network is an American-based network now.
Well, that's interesting. I did not know that.
So we get TSN and Sportsnet, and you guys get NHL Network and ESPN and TNT.
Yeah.
Which is why they don't have an American bias, though, which I like. We don't have the American player bias.
That's true. Yeah. All right. Well, that's all you got. That is it for this episode of the Nordcast, or the Nord and Block podcast. I'm sorry it's late. I'm tired. Nord and Block podcast. That's very disrespectful. LeBlanc, any final thoughts?
This is the Nord and Block podcast. I want
to make that very clear. Not the Nordcast. I'm so sorry. I was looking on Twitter and one of my posts came up. So I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
No, I got nothing. But when I know I got nothing.
He's so offended.
I'm also tired.
Yeah, I'm tired. Late at night. All right. Thank you all for watching or listening. Follow the Instagram and the Twitter. That'll be it for us. We'll see you in the next episode.
Ciao. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Man, I just do what I do. To know about you, I just do what I do. Check. That's the intro. See that? Yeah. I just do what I do. See me? I just do what I do. Yo, check. Let me flip this script. I feel privileged for all who can witness this. I am close to divine. Know the moment is mine, need no omen or sign. Providing a back sound to all the squares that ask around. Be getting it, my skills pay me. Trying to get $1 million, baby, with an adopted flow that God gave me. Tell whoever runners that they spot is temporary till I take it, it's mine. I'm selfish, your will. Tell Miss I'm on my wealth tip. So when we cash out soon, I'm just investing. Hey, no yes men. I've been a legend since before mom and dad had me and was best friends. I chew through comp, don't test them. I chew on tracks, cause after that I bless them. I just do what I do. You see me? I just do what I do. I just do what I do. I don't know about you, I just do what I do. Check.